Hi, I'm Colin Byers. I'm the video arts instructor here at Bird Church High School in Airdrie, Alberta. And this series of videos is going to be about creating a fictitious title sequence using Adobe Photoshop, After Effects, and Premiere Pro CC 2014. And so this is a three-part series. We'll break it down looking at Photoshop first, and then we'll get into After Effects and polish things up there, put it into Premiere, export it, and hopefully this is something that will teach you some new skills or techniques, and maybe then you can try it out with your own students in your classes. If you have any questions as you go through the video, please don't hesitate to tweet us or comment, and you can always find my tutorials on the Ed Exchange with Adobe. So sit back, and hopefully this isn't too tech heavy for you.
So before we jump right into the tutorials on how to make the title sequence, it's probably a good idea to actually watch it. I'll play the clip for you now. It's a minute in length, and when it's done, we'll just transition right into the Photoshop segment of the tutorials. Alright, as you saw in the example video from Vimeo there, the title sequence is made up of still images, and these images consist of items that I've made in Photoshop. Basically it's three layers for each image. It's a silhouette, a background image within the silhouette, and a layer overlaid on top. Now, as you can see by this file here, I have lots of different layers. Ideally, if I was doing this, I'd create a folder for each layer with all the individual assets in it. But because I didn't have a whole lot of time, I just compressed them, and regrettably, this is what I'm left with. But I'm going to show you how to make these, because if you want to recreate this for yourself, you're going to need to know how to do that. So first, I'm going to need a blank document like this. To do that, I go File, New, and I can choose Film and Video, and choose the appropriate size. Now in this case it's 1080p, and that's the size I want, and as you can see there's a number of different options for you to choose from, but I'm going to go with this one, the 1920 by 1080, and I'm going to hit OK, and this is the image that is going to be output to the video later on. So what I need in this is a silhouette, and I've got an image here that I'm going to use. You can use any image you want, whether it's a vector silhouette or a silhouette photo that you've taken, or if you have a photograph like this that has a studio backdrop as your background, it makes it really easy to select that image out of there. So I'm going to take my magic wand tool. I'm going to select the white, and I'm going to use this selection as a means to create my silhouette. So I'm just going to go Command J, and as you can see, it leaves me with this nice little silhouette, and I'm going to drag this over onto my untitled document. And I know it's really hard to see here because this is white. I'm going to resize this so it fits, and then I'm going to put in the background. So I think I'm going to have this at about 30%. of the original size here. I'm just going to punch this in as 30%. That saves me trying to drag it around. And yeah, that's about, you know, a good enough size for what I need for this. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to fill the rest of this in with some white, just so we have some consistency there. I'm going to take my next image, which is this one here, and I'm going to take my move tool, drag it in to this layer, and flip them around, and there we have the background image. And of course you can move this around any which way you like. And then of course the last item that we're going to have in here is this kind of grungy sort of texture, and I'll put that over top, and I'll just make sure that it is actually on top of everything, like so. And I'll just choose a blend option here, like overlay for an example, or perhaps screen might work. Actually, multiplies better. Yeah, so this works. This is not too bad. This particular layer here may have a little bit too much color, because if we look at the original, you can see a lot of these are black and white, or you know, they're pretty monochromatic looking. So if I want to change this to a black and white or a monochromatic, I could go down here and I could choose hue and saturation, and I could desaturate this a little bit, just like so. Or I could even change this to black and white, and there we are. So yeah, that's basically how to put one of these together. Now, if you want to be really particular with this and apply some grunginess to your silhouette, you could always play around with the edges here. And you could add some noise to them, or noise overall. But for this quick tutorial, essentially this is a recreation of this particular element that we were seeing in the video. So the next step is to take these assets and put them into After Effects, and that's what we're going to look at in the next video. We're going to see how this thing gets put together with some music, and we'll make sure that the timing works and create a new little title sequence.